The highly anticipated Swiggy IPO is finally here, and they've roped in multiple celebrities like Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, Madhuri Dixit, and even Rahul Dravid as their early IPO investors. Now, there are two reasons why it is very interesting for me personally. One, that it is a household brand. Everyone in a tier 1 or tier 2 city would surely be knowing what Swiggy is and what they do. And two, that Zomato, its major competitor, has given a crazy rally. It's a listed competitor. It has given a crazy rally over the last 1 year in its share price. So it is now a very hot IPO in my opinion. And it is once again affirming India's growth story. So again, a very household brand, a very successful startup which is now going IPO, creating wealth for its existing shareholders, its promoters, and even its employees. So I saw this really interesting tweet on Twitter last day which said that everyone who is looking for a house in Bangalore right now, make sure you go ahead and book it as soon as you can, because all the liquidity that is going to come into the real estate market after all the Swiggy employees cash out their ESOPs or their employee stock options, it is going to be massive. So that is why, even though we don't make IPO videos on this channel, I really wanted to go ahead and analyze Swiggy as a company and see what is a possibility for this IPO right here. So let's get started with the presentation. So yes, Swiggy IPO, and the things that I want to discuss in this video. First, we'll have a deep look at the IPO. What is that? Valuation. How much money is Swiggy raising? What will they use it for? Revenue and profits for Swiggy, and vertical wise business growth. After that, yes, we'll definitely have to discuss about Swiggy versus Zomato. Who will win? Right? So these are two arch nemesis and forever been the two major players in the market, in the food delivery market right here. So we'll definitely get into that. And the third part of the video, we'll get into, should you invest in the IPO? If you're looking for listing gains, should you do? What is the current grey market premium? And also, should you be looking as a long-term investor of the stock? So if that's the case, what are you waiting for? This is Ajay Ajith. Welcome to Market Feed. Swiggy with the current IPO is valuing itself at nearly 90,000 crores right now. But if you're looking at Zomato, which is its major listed competitor available in the market today, its market cap is coming out to be 2.1 lakh crores. So nearly or less than half the market cap of Zomato is the valuation that Swiggy is asking for here. And when we are looking into an IPO snapshot, you can see that the issue is opening from November 6th to November 8th. The issue price will be between 371 rupees and 390 rupees on the upper end. The lot size will be 38. And as always, if you want to invest one lot into the company's IPO, you'll have to make an investment of nearly 15,000 rupees, right? But if you're looking at the split between the fresh issue and the offer for sale, it is coming out to be 40-60. What does that mean? Out of this, totally Swiggy is looking to raise more than 11,000 crores with this IPO. And out of that, 4,499 crores will go into the company and 6,828 crores will be taken as exit for the earlier investors. So hope you really get that point. Now, this offer for sale component does not contribute anything for the company. It is just exit for the promoters, founders and early investors. But when we are looking into the fresh issue, we can understand where the company is looking to invest, right? What are they going to use the money for? So the first thing that they'll be using it for is repayment of Scootsie borrowings. So Scootsie is a logistical company that Swiggy had acquired earlier, and they are going to use nearly 164 crores from the IPO proceedings to repay borrowings against Scootsie. The majority of their IPO fundraise is going to be used for dark store network expansion. That means to improve on their Instamart and their quick commerce handles, right? That's what they're going to focus on here. After that, investment in technology, 700 crores is what they're planning. Brand marketing and promotion is going to use up another 1,115 crores. So this is how Swiggy is going to use the money from the IPO to grow their company. Now let's get into Swiggy versus Zomato and who will win. Because without a comparison, again, these are new age industries, and without a comparison between these major players, you can't go anywhere, right? So let's get into that. Swiggy versus Zomato, what is the story and who will win? Now this is a graph of market share between Zomato and Swiggy, not considering other smaller players, but only considering both of them, right? So when you're comparing both of them, in 2018, Swiggy had a market share of 61.2 relative market share compared to Zomato's 38%. But now, fast forward to 2022, the number has reversed. Zomato now has a market share of 55% in the food delivery space, while Swiggy only has 45%. So things have changed. Once the market leader, they're now lagging behind Zomato in terms of revenue, in terms of market share, in terms of profitability as well. So if you are looking at Zomato's rebound story, the high operational efficiency helped it reach profitability much earlier than Swiggy. Swiggy still needs at least another 4 to 5 quarters to reach profitability. That is their goal. But Zomato is already profitable. On the last yearly basis, they've made a profit of nearly 1,300 crores. While Swiggy is in a loss of 2,300 crores. You see the gap there, don't you? And the second thing here is laid more advantage by acquiring Blinkit in June 2022. If you're looking at the Instamart story and quick commerce, which is all the fire and the discussion right now, Instamart, which is Swiggy's quick commerce wing, was started in 2020. Until 2022, Zomato did not have a direct competitor at all. So Swiggy and Instamart had a 2-year head start, but still, today, Blinkit is the market leader. They have high average order volumes along with a big market share when compared to any other player in the market. And that is huge. And they acquired Blinkit for nearly $500 million, which is 4,400 crore rupees. And what did they do here? It was a purely share swap deal. The Zomato founders or the company did not even have to spend a single rupee on acquiring Blinkit. They just did a share swap deal. So you see what happened here. In 2018, Swiggy was much bigger than Zomato in terms of food delivery business. And right now, they're the second number 2 player. And also in the quick commerce space, in 2020, Swiggy started Instamart first. But with the fast thought process of Zomato as well as its founder Deepinder Goyal, you cannot miss his name here. They've managed to become the number 1 player in both the food delivery as well as the quick commerce space. And you can see that Zomato has a faster growing numbers also with respect to each business vertical. But before that, I quickly want to show you Zomato's chart here as well. So if you're looking into 2021 July, when they had their IPO, the share price went from the IPO price of 60 rupees, it went up to nearly 170 and then crashed down. So the market started punishing them, and it was here when Deepinder Goyal came out and said that we'll soon achieve profitability. Everyone laughed at him, and they also said that they're going to acquire Blinkit for this huge $500 million deal. So all of that happened at the bottom, and you can see that the market has rewarded them. From the very bottom, the shares went up more than 500% in the course of a year and a half. Right? And that is how much the market has valued them. And just to again drill that down and put it into perspective, Instamart, which is a vertical which started in 2020, today has a revenue of 1,100 crores for FY24. Meanwhile, Blinkit, which was acquired by Zomato in 2022, it has a revenue of 2,300 crores. And if you're looking at the gross order value, it is much higher, nearly 50% higher. And the average order value is also 50% higher. It's 460 for Instamart and 614 for Blinkit. That means customers on Blinkit are spending more per order, right? Nearly 50% more per order than Instamart customers. That's very good to see. The number of monthly transacting users, that is also higher by nearly 25%, right? It is 42 lakhs or 4.2 million here. And on the other side, it is 5.1 million. And all with the same number of dark stores as well as same number of cities present in. So you see what is happening. Blinkit and Zomato together have figured it out, and they're already on the path to profitability. They're already there, and they're going to scale up further from here. And the fear is that will Swiggy be left behind the entire pack? And with all the new competitors coming into, especially this quick commerce space, are they going to burn a lot more money? But before that, we'll need to get into a deeper dive of Swiggy's revenue, right? We'll first quickly have a look at how much they've been making for their food delivery business, their out-of-home consumption, which is their dine-out, right? Dine-out business, their quick commerce, supply chain, and everything. So you can see here that food delivery in the year 2024, it has given Swiggy a revenue of nearly 5,160 crores. That is highly up from last 2023's number as well as 2022's number. So that is a very fast-growing business here. Out-of-home consumption, which is a dine-out business where people go out and pay using the dine-out app, that is contributing nearly 157 crore rupees to revenue. Quick commerce is contributing 978 crore rupees to revenue, and you can see how fast that is going for Swiggy. 2022, it was only a 82 crore contribution, 450 crores after that, and 978 crores as of last year. And you can see that if you're just looking at the first quarter of this financial year, the quick commerce business has already clocked in 374 crores. That is more than 1/3 of what they did in the entire last financial year. They've already clocked in one quarter. So this is a fast growing business right here. Supply chain and distribution contributed 4,779 crores. Platform innovation, which is mostly miscellaneous charges, contributed 171 crores, and the total revenue came out to be 11,247 crore rupees. That is how it shaped up. And you can go through this entire table and understand how each vertical has gone or grown separately, right? We have put in a lot of effort and time to make this table. So make sure you pause the video and check it out right here. And when we're looking into the adjusted EBITDA numbers, which is earnings before interest, taxes, demonetization and amortization, don't worry about the definition. It is an early sign of if the business could be profitable. And if you're looking into the numbers here, you can see that the food delivery business is only EBITDA negative by 47 crore rupees. So that means it's on its path to profitability very soon. The quick commerce business, however, is bleeding nearly 1,300 crores on an EBITDA level. Supply chain and both the other verticals, they're burning nearly 186 to 118 crores. So those are not big amounts for the kind of business that Swiggy is doing today. And if you're looking at the first quarter numbers of 2025 financial year, which is this last quarter here, you can see that the food delivery business has already achieved EBITDA level profitability of nearly 57 crores. That is good to see for the company. So its major core business has started to become profitable. Yes, its quick commerce business is still bleeding 317 crores, no changes from last year, but the major business, which is a food delivery, has started reaching profitability. That is good. So now let me take you to the similar story of Zomato, and for that I'm sure your mind will be blown. So if you're looking at the 2024 numbers, you'll see that food delivery contributed 7,792 crores for Zomato. That is a huge amount. And at the same level, they made a EBITDA level profitability of 918 crores there. That is really good to see. And these are FY24 numbers, not even the first quarter of this year. And when you're looking at the quick commerce business, they made a revenue of 2,300 crores. They lost only 384 crores. Yes, it is a new category. Both Instamart as well as Blinkit is in losses, but the losses are very widely different. You see that earlier for Instamart, it was nearly 1,300 crores. Meanwhile, for Blinkit here, it is only 384 crores in losses. And when you're looking at the entire revenue of all the other verticals, business, B2B supplies, which is hyper pure business here, where they supply raw materials to their restaurant, that is also contributing very much to Zomato's top line here, right? There it is contributing nearly 3,172 crores, but yeah, it is still making a loss of 126 crores at the EBITDA level. But that is fine. You can see that the major thing to note here is that even in 2024, their food delivery business was in profit, while Swiggy has reached that only the first quarter of this financial year. And the quick commerce business, it is not burning too much cash in Zomato's pocket. And that is very good to see. So this was a deep dive comparison of both the companies. I'm sure because it's a very household name, you will be able to do your own SWOT analysis, and I want you to do that and let me know in the comments what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities as well as threats for Swiggy IPO right here. I'm sure it's very easy because it's a company you know and you're probably using every single week. Right? I'm sure you'll be able to come up with it. Otherwise, if you're finding it difficult, I'll link the red herring prospectus in the description down below. I'll mark out the pages also so that you can go ahead and do your quick fundamental analysis also of Swiggy IPO here. Now let's get to the final crux of the video, which is, can you make money from this IPO? So we saw that Swiggy, with all of its fast growth, still it is being outmatched or outpaced by Zomato. Now we'll get into this question right here. So you can see that Swiggy is priced at 7.8 times price to sales. That's not a bad number compared to Zomato, which is now priced at 27.4. But if you think about Zomato's profitability, yes, maybe it deserves that valuation which is asking right here. While Zomato made a profit of 1,300 crores, Swiggy is still in a loss of 2,300 crores, right? So that gap between them is more than 3,000 crores right there. Now, while Zomato has shown profitability is indeed possible, out of the multiple food delivery companies across the world, I think Zomato is one of the first to prove that profitability is possible on a larger scale. But the only question here is, when can Swiggy be profitable? Will it take a quarter? Will it take 2 quarters or even 5 quarters? That is what nobody knows here. The market is currently showing a grey market premium of only 3 to 5% for Swiggy's IPO currently, and I would say the risk to reward is not that worth it. You might be able to get an allocation after the IPO as well if you're really interested in the long-term prospects of the stock. So I personally have 2 criteria to decide whether or not I should invest into an IPO. Right? The first one is, does the company have a good enough grey market premium? The second thing is the subscription numbers. So if you have seen my previous video right here, which is how to make money through IPO, I'm talking about the fact that if you're looking to invest into an IPO, you can gauge or you can look at the other investors' interest as an indication of whether it will give you a listing day gain or not. And that number you can only get by Friday afternoon or later. By then you'll have to analyze how much retailers are investing, how much times it is oversubscribed, how many times QIBs, qualified institutional buyers, are looking to subscribe to this IPO, also HNIs and all the other categories. So I've made a detailed video here, you can go check that out. But otherwise, we'll have to wait for that number, and currently the grey market premium is moderately interesting, not that interesting for me. So personally, I'll be still waiting to see if these numbers improve, especially now that the market Nifty itself is looking to rebound from here. But otherwise, keeping the short-term IPO aside, I think the way forward for Swiggy could be quite interesting because this food delivery business, yes, Zomato has shown profitability, and Swiggy also in its first quarter has reached profitability at an EBITDA level. But when we are talking about the way forward for Swiggy, we have to look into multiple forward-looking statements, including the statement by Mr. Dipinder Goyal that Blinkit will be much larger than Zomato very, very soon. Right? And that means that Instamart or the quick commerce business of Swiggy is what you should also be thinking about. And when we are getting into that business there, the market to capture is huge, right? There are competitors like Flipkart and Amazon whose sales are being taken away by Blinkit, Zepto, all of them selling earphones. Just think about that. Sales of huge players like Amazon and Flipkart being taken away. But also understand this industry is getting very, very heated up. Money is being thrown at it like crazy. Yes, Blinkit is already reaching profitability. Swiggy is looking to invest nearly 1,100 crores into their dark store expansion network. Zepto is also coming in with a lot of funding. Zomato is raising funding again, right? They're raising funding again through a qualified institutional placement of nearly 8,000 crores. So in all of this, the question is, can Instamart innovate and become a market leader, or can they even ride out the wave and reach profitability? So all these questions are still going on in my head, but that is completely for another entire video. Now in our analysis, we found out 2 additional points which I think are very necessary before you get into this Swiggy investment at all. The first point here is that a lot of employee options will flood into the market. Employee stocks will start flooding into the market from December, right? So there is no 6-month lock-in as far as what we understood from our analysis for Swiggy IPO. And from December 1st, there could be a lot of selling pressure on the stock. So make sure you have that in mind. Now, the second thing is more of a longer term perspective here. Now, we talked about the bad things about Swiggy with how, within respect to Instamart, how they failed to hold on to the crown, even though they were the category creators here. But one major thing that I want you to understand here is Swiggy has shown that they have the ability to create markets, create new industries all by itself, right? So if you're looking into the food delivery business, Zomato was not the first player there. It was Swiggy there, and Zomato kind of took over, and now they are bigger than Swiggy, but Swiggy created that market is what I can say to you there. Same with Instamart, right? When the 2020 lockdowns hit, Swiggy created this Instamart product all on its own and took it to a level, but then competitors actually scaled it up from there and are slowly taking over. So this is part of a longer conversation of who has the right to win over the long term, where I believe that Swiggy's DNA, they have a DNA of innovators, right? So keeping the topic of short-term IPO listing gains aside, I think Swiggy has a DNA of being innovators, and they will for sure be the ones to create new categories going ahead. So now they created food delivery business, they created the quick commerce business. Now they might, or they have the higher chance of creating additional allied businesses around the same. While Zomato is a pure marketing company, no matter what businesses they take over, even including Paytm's insider or the ticketing business that they've acquired right now, they're really good at marketing. On how much returns they can generate per rupee of marketing, Zomato is really better than Swiggy at it. So both have their advantages and disadvantages. But at least a good thing is that Swiggy is leaving some value on the table for very long-term investors. So make sure you have this added to your portfolio, if not for the IPO, but for later. Anyway, I'll be making a very detailed video on the Swiggy versus Zomato story and how this business could turn out, or how these businesses could turn out in the 5 to 10 year benchmark. Now that I think will be a very valuable video. So make sure you get subscribed if you want to watch that. And this video, let's keep it just for IPO investors. You'll have to look into the grey market premium and the subscription status as we have already discussed, and take a decision based on the Friday numbers there. Right, let's wrap up this video. If you want to get more into this quick commerce world, especially now that there are 2 listed players in the space, definitely let us know in the comments down below, and we'll do a deep analysis of Zomato versus Swiggy versus Zepto, and we'll see that who is going to take the cake and win in this quick commerce market. So as always, hope you understood things very clearly. What is Swiggy's valuation right now? How much money are they raising? Where are they looking to invest it? What is the revenue and the losses they're making today? And majorly, what is their comparison with Zomato, which we did by putting in a lot of time and effort there? And what could be their IPO listing gain, and what could be the future ahead for them? If you have any thoughts and discussion points, make sure you let us know in the comments down below. This is Ajay Ajith signing off. See you all again in another video. Bye bye.